PM. All righty, folks. Welcome to Money Monday. Get better. This here. GM. Well, welcome. Money Monday. Happy to have you here. Let's talk opportunity. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, so we are 108 days away from the E3 Summit. 108. The days are ticking down. How many tickets have you sold? How many people have you told about it? It is 100 days goes by quick. So make sure you're putting this as a target and not just that'd be nice if. Otherwise, you'll find yourself October 23rd sitting in the room with 0 guests. Now, it'll be great to be there for sure. But one of the big benefits of putting it together the way that corporate has is that we can bring guests and make it an event we get paid for, not just one we pay to attend. So anyway, top 10 looks like it'll be updated tomorrow, but congrats to everybody here on the charts. Putting in orders, it's working. I know a couple of these people had 20, 30, 40, and I think Richard had almost a $50,000 month last month. How would that feel to have a $50,000 month because you'd helped enroll 4 or 5 people? Well, that's definitely a possibility. So GM, everybody that's just joining. Real quick, let's go over the quote of the day. Awesome. Quote of the day. Character consists of what you do on the 3rd and 4th tries. Nice. That's new. Character consists of what you do on the 3rd and 4th tries. So that implies you got to try more than once. Great. Great quote of the day. All right. So real quick, for everyone to get their personalized links and be able to take advantage of the online marketing tools corporate has created for us, you're going to come to the calendar. You are going to click on clear filters. You're going to go over to October. You're going to find the events. Are you doing the general admission ticket or the VIP ticket? Once you select that, then you're going to come into the calendar event. You're going to click on the share button. Right under here, right under share is copy URL. Grab that link. And this is what you're going to post in your stories, in your email campaigns, on your ads, with every text, email, everything that goes out. You're going to paste that link, and it's going to take you to this page. A nice description, who's speaking and what, the early bird pricing. Okay, it's going to go up. Save yourself some money. And then a little bit of the schedule here. Wednesday reception tour, Walk of Fame, VIP experiences. And then the timer, tick tock, 108 days. Incredible. And if you just go back to the calendar, hit clear filter, go over to October, go down and grab yourself your VIP link. Now this link is different. Copy this URL, and then you're going to send it, paste it, use it. And what I've done is I've stuck it on my phone, put it on my laptop. I'm just showing you how to get it. But I put it just in my notes, so I can just click it and grab it. It's my little short link right there, and I can start sending it to people. Okay, so Exciting times. Remember on Wednesday, for those of you who weren't here, on Wednesday, we talked about the ant and the grasshopper. What kind of summer are you going to have? Are you going to have the summer of an ant who thinks about winter and prepares? Or are you going to think like a grasshopper and think summer all summer and get psyched out by the green leaves and the blue skies and think everything's going to stay this way? Don't get psyched out. Start thinking about winter already. And then when it comes time, because we've been there before where you blink and all of a sudden 3 months went by, 4 months went by, and you're like, whoa, what happened to my season? Don't let that happen to you. There's too much distractions and nonsense going on. You have to stand guard at the door of your mind or your attention will be taken. Okay, half the year is already gone. Okay, Eric asked a quick question. Do we have to pay for a ticket before inviting guests as an ICM to be eligible for E3 guest registration? The answer is no. You do not have to buy a ticket first. It would be a good idea to buy a ticket and buy a VIP ticket because you could always sell that VIP ticket to your guest as you get closer as an incentive and then put yourself in the general admission seats. But that's what I'm going to do. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm going to buy an extra VIP ticket before they sell out so that I can use one for a guest who's on the fence. And then you got to remember too, with guests on the fence, use my grandpa's line, okay? He said, remember, there's only one thing you get by sitting on the fence, and that's splinters in your butt. Make a decision. Awesome. Good old grandpa sayings. Okay, and something I want to bring back. We used to do this every day. But we talked about it last week and we're gonna bring it back real quick. It's called the self-confidence formula. We're just gonna read it real quick. I'm not gonna define it or expand on it. I'm just gonna read it and then move on with my life. Self-confidence formula. I know I have the ability to achieve my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here now promise to render such action. Second, I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding to myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I've clearly written down the description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I've developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or power can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use in the cooperation of others. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I've eliminated hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing a love for all of humanity because I know a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, repeat aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. GM to that. Okay? Programming is up to you. Your parents, society, social media have programmed you for plenty of time. It's now on you to reprogram yourself. And as part of the program, massive amounts of confidence, which will lead to the right action, which will lead to a result, which will lead to more confidence, which will lead to action, which will lead to results, and keep that cycle going. Those of you who've done ATM before, you know about the cars. Confidence, action, result, success. You get into that confidence spiral. So anyway, I dropped a link in the chat. Take a screenshot when you load it up on your phone, bookmark this page, memorize this stuff. Okay. Money-making activities. Let's go. All right, so we're going to switch over to the whiteboard here. I'm going to talk about the law of averages. How to make sure that you can design a life of success and not just have hope, not just wish, not just, I hope it works out and everything goes okay for me. No. By design, systematic. Not allowed to say guaranteed, but virtually guaranteed to hit your numbers. Oh boy, better fix my chair. That's funny. Okay, there's three phases. Law of averages. Okay, there's three phases when we're going over the law of averages and our numbers. Okay. By the way, the main point to get here is that when ratios appear, they tend to continue. It's important to understand. When a ratio appears, they tend to continue. So if you get 1 out of 5 people to say yes to coming to a meeting, chances are you ask 5 people, you'll get another one. So when ratios appear, they tend to continue. Also, over time, ratios improve. Right? It used to be 1 out of 5, now it's 1 out of 4, and you keep getting better. So some laws of averages and the laws of numbers and what to pay attention to here. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the ratios and what kind of work is required to get the money. And just on a quick side tangent, I have talked to a lot of people about being serious as an ICM and making real money. And they'll say things to me like, I wish I could, but my job is so demanding. It's so busy. My schedule. And I just think to myself, and often I'll say it out loud too, if you just treated this opportunity as serious, not more serious, just as serious as you're treating your job right now, you would be phenomenally successful. You have a thing about your job that if you just brought it to this, you would guarantee your success. Do you show up on time every day? Now, few of you have a job where you don't have to be there at a specific time, but you've all had a job where you had to be there at a specific time. It didn't matter what time you went to bed the night before. It didn't matter if there was traffic or the weather was inconvenient or you didn't feel like it or it didn't matter. You prioritized keeping this job and the things required to be quote unquote valuable there, and you did it. Rain or shine, regardless of your mood, you kicked ass at it. Bring that to this. Bring that same vibe, level of responsibility and integrity to your your marketing firm that you own, your marketing firm. If you brought it to that, gosh, of course you'd have a $10,000 month every month, a $50,000 quarter. Richard's on track to do $100,000 this quarter. And still he has time to go on vacation. Okay, but he understands that ratios appear. He understands his ratios, and over time his ratios have improved so that he now knows he can still take a 2-week vacation out of a month and still hit the numbers because he knows what to do in 2 weeks instead of 4 weeks because he knows his numbers. So please track them because it takes time. It'll continue, and you're going to keep going after it. It's going to get better. Okay, so some of the areas of numbers to look at is dollars spent on ads to number of leads. And even inside of the leads category, we could say qualified and unqualified leads, but there's a ratio here, right? A number of dollars you spend on ads to the number of leads you get. Then we're going to look at the ratio of leads to contact. Did you actually have a phone call with them, have an email that they read, or a text that they read, something they engaged with, a contact? Okay, and there's a ratio that'll appear there. Then there's the contact to interested ratio. Do they like it? Some people realize that it's not free, and then they run away, right? Or they just had a misunderstanding of what the ad was about. So there's a ratio there. How many people do we contact versus how many are interested? And you know what? There's even one in between that. There's the leads to, what do I want to call this? Whatever. Leads to reach out. Because not everyone that you reach out to actually answers. Then reach out to contact. Telling you, Richard already knows his numbers. And I do too. And that's why it's easy to just say, hey, this week I'm going to work on Monday and Tuesday and a little bit on Friday. But over these next 108 days, which I love 108, it's a great number. Many reasons why. We'll talk about it, the camp out. But yeah, this next 108 days plus, the event itself, plus the following week or two afterwards. So we're looking at 120 days. This is going to be an everyday thing for me and for people who want to make 6 figures at this event. So I just wanted to clarify, I'm not doing 2 days a week and hoping to make $1 million this year. Okay, this is an everyday thing. So we got contact interested. Then we have interested to attending an event. Right, event number 1. And then we have event number 1, 2, follow-up. And all these ratios. And then how many people needed to go to event number 2? So they come to the follow-up. Then they go to event number 2, which has the highest number of sign-up ratios. This is where people sign up. This is where people sign up. This is where the money is at the follow-up and event number 2. I mean, think about this for a second. You are working your customer down through this experience, right? Which implies that there's going to be multiple meetings. If you stop following up through this process, you are confirming the suspicion of the contact, of the lead, because they have a suspicion right now that it's not real, that it's BS, that it's not true, whatever you're saying. Whatever claim you're making, whatever your ad is about, they don't think it's true, a part of it. And when you don't follow up, you're proving it right to them. They don't have much evidence to go off of because they haven't been to events, they haven't done their follow-ups, they haven't got their Q&A going. So there's still a lot of suspicion or skepticism. By following up, you are proving and fighting against that suspicion because you are validating that this is a real opportunity. If it was a joke, if it wasn't real, it would be some fly-by-night thing, and we would just get whatever suckers we can get that night and move on. But by following up week after week, month after month, sometimes year after year, you are legitimizing this opportunity to people by the repetition. They see you're not gone in a week, you're not gone in a month, that you're continually doing this. It validates it and makes it more real for the skeptics that we got this week and we got this next week, and come and check it out. I have never had someone say, you are bothering me. That B word, bother, I've never had someone say bother. I've had a few people unsubscribe. That's totally fine. I've had way more people say, thank you for following up and being consistent and not forgetting about me. You know, sometimes I'll have to send 10 or 20 messages before I get a reply. But each time I'm sending it, I'm just reminding people this is real, this is real, this is real, and building my case for why they should come take a look at the best income opportunity in America. So don't give up on the follow-up, on the process, on the ratios, because each time you do send an email, a call, a text, it is legitimizing it for yourself and for them. So stick with that. Stick with your ratios. All right. And then if you really want to be serious about the ratio, then after the sign up, there's a ratio of sign up education versus sign up ICM. And then how many of your ICMs are you going to help become 5-star? There's also that ratio there. Okay. So pay attention to your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not many numbers to track. All right. These last two kind of track themselves because of the dollar showing up in your bank account. But these 6 up here, you got to keep doing. And just let that lead list keep getting bigger. Okay, so we're 108 days out. There will be some people that hear about it 107 days from now. They'll hear about it the day before, and they'll show up. A few people will. Chances are your people are, the majority of people are going to need a week or 2 heads up. They got kids, they're going to need a couple weeks heads up to come to a 3-day event. So anyway, we have 108 days. You need to break your work up into 3 phases. Because while we have our timeline between now and E3, there's also the timeline between now and a house tour, between now and an epic, between now and a follow-up. Okay, so you have multiple timelines. You have your overarching, here's where, I'm headed, and in between now and then, there's still plenty of people that are going to come to other events you're hosting and sign up. But there's, you still got the boatload of people over here that you're saying, hey, if you haven't bought by now, if you didn't buy at this house store, you didn't buy at the Epic, you didn't buy at the follow-up, I bet you'll buy at E3. So let's get everyone there. Okay. I'm trying to emphasize here that don't wait for E3. There's still plenty of opportunity to make money at other events this summer. And those efforts that you're putting into getting them to the house tours and the other things are going to add to your numbers. They're going to add to your ratios. If you were to only do this 108-day event, it'd be okay. But the momentum that you would get by continually adding new guests, making new friends, getting them to meet the other people in your network, especially how critical it is on the Zooms to do the breakout rooms, the after networking. There's a bunch of stuff to help amplify your Zooms. Okay, so there's 3 general phases for marketing here. The first is prospecting, finding the leads. Okay, phase 1, prospecting. You're going to go gangbusters on this. You're going to get as many leads. You're going to build your list as big and as fast as you can, because you're not going to be prospecting on day 107 from now. Okay, prospecting is going to have its window. All the things we talked about, 3-foot rule, Facebook, LinkedIn, flyers, meetups, Toastmasters, More Market, all the things for prospecting. And I remember this when Dane trains, he talks about the 4 buckets, right? Where to put these people: the active, the passive, the problem property, and the cheerleader. So where do I put these people? Which bucket do they go in? That's your job. Okay. You have the person, but what bucket do they go in? You need to find out. You do them a favor and you find out at the same time. Number 2 of this phase is the we call it BFE, build for events. Build for events. Okay, so we're setting a target for getting as many people. We're selling tickets. We're pointing everybody in this general direction. You're going to this event. You're coming. It's going to be amazing. So build for events. Now, you're going to see your prospecting numbers go up. And then when you switch phases and you start building for events, this leads to reach out, or this leads to ads ratio might change. You might turn your ads off because now you have your leads, and now it's time to build for events. It's time to build relationships, make sure they get there, put emphasis on a specific thing for them, not just, are you interested in real estate? GM. And then number 3 is follow-up and funding. Okay. Now, of course, if you're using this timeline and you're getting people to come to the house tour and the epics and the follow-ups while we're still building for the E3, you're going to be doing your follow-ups and your funding, getting people in and their education paid for, their coaching paid for. But this is going to be generally during and after the event. And like the last E3, I stayed 7 days afterwards. And in those 7 days, I did 10 events and follow-ups. And it was absolutely worth staying the extra time because we made a lot of progress, made a lot of sales, made a lot of team members a lot of money. But we're obviously not going to be doing prospecting when the time comes to do our funding and follow-ups. If more leads are coming in, that's great. But we've already moved so many people through the timeline that if you go back to prospecting when these people right here came to E3, you should be funding and following up. So don't get distracted with your phases. Every campaign has these 3 phases. Sometimes you just do a 2-week campaign between now and the next property tour. There are plenty of campaigns to run. But I think that this is about the time, 100, 120 days, where you should be saying, this is all hands on deck type of event, right? You might have to spend $500 or $1,000 extra to get the leads and these and everything that you want to come out of this. But the good news is we're leveraging Bob Snyder and corporate's pocketbooks. They're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the event. So they're carrying the majority of the weight, but you do got to carry some weight. So tickets. I think these tickets should be $1,000 and we're offering them for $200. That's a super deal. Think about, I think the majority of you saw the E3 last time in March. So you know the value of it.
Are they doing online? And is it $200 for one person?
Correct.
To both questions? It's correct.
So yeah, it will be streamed online. But there's some in-person perks and those things won't be streamed. So Pros and cons of being there in person, right? And chances are I'm going to go early. So let's see. Nice. Brian said, just started reading Laws of Success again. It's different the fifth time reading. Yeah, buddy. You got to read it more than once. Okay. Okay, so one ingredient that you may, I know some of you do, but some of you might not have. Wow, I haven't seen Brian in a minute. Welcome, GM to Brian. Got two Brians in the house now. GM. Bless you. Yes, sir, Josh. Go ahead.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Quick question. I might have missed it. Is the $200 ticket, is that early bird?
Yes,
And what is what is the late bird?
the late bird is 250, 247.
Okay. And the VIP is how many?
500 clams.
Okay.
So we got the early discount bird 197, and that's going to go between now and September 24th, I believe. Then it's going to go up to 247, and then VIP is 500.
So if I buy a VIP, does that mean I get to hang out with you?
There will be a line, but yes, it will be a short line.
I'll wait my turn.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, so while you're going out in the world,
And he's honest too.
you need to inoculate yourself from negativity, pessimism, and I might offend someone with this, but dare I say retards. There are plenty of people out there that are ill-informed, have terrible work ethics, but they have a loud mouth. Stay away from them. Pay them no mind. If they're a part of your family and you have to deal with them, put what Napoleon Hill calls your mental earmuffs on and pay them no mind. One way to do that is to charge up a belief structure inside of yourself. Okay? We talked about this moments ago, where if you have an attitude or a belief about something, it's going to affect the action that you take. That action is going to get you a certain result. And that result is going to give you a certain level of confidence. Now, if you screw it up, you keep getting negative results, you could turn it into a negative spiral where you get a negative action and a negative result and a negative level of confidence, which puts you back into negative belief state. And then you just lose money and you die poor and you embarrass your family. If you don't inoculate yourself, if you don't create a system to make sure that your attitude and your beliefs stay positive, which will in turn increase your action, and obviously you get a different result, which will boost your confidence, which will feed your attitude and your beliefs, and it will keep this spiral of success going. Okay? But where does it all start? 100% of it starts in your mind. Okay, now you're already here, but if your belief ebbs and flows, waxes and wanes, isn't consistent, then people have a hard time leaning on your belief or borrowing your vision so that they could see a better future for themselves. So what you're going to do is you're going to raise your beliefs. You're going to energize your beliefs. Okay? Just like we talked about the self-confidence formula at the beginning, you're going to memorize it, say it out loud, and say it with full faith that it will positively affect your subconscious mind. The methodology for immunizing your mind against the negative viruses out in the world is the Renatus 4 core beliefs. Now, I say these on the phone when I'm prospecting. I say them to people. I put them in my text and my emails. I put them in my newsletters and my ads. I think them, I say them, they're just always a part of me. So much so that I rarely leave the house without repping Renatus. Okay. Seriously. I got a backup shirt here, dealing with babies and stuff. Sometimes I get dirty. Everything is in alignment with my beliefs around this company. And that's one reason why I've made millions and millions and millions of dollars and will make more, is because of the 4 core beliefs. So number 1, and if these aren't beliefs for you yet, you need to repeat them, and I'll give you an assignment at the end here. Number 1, Renatus is the best income opportunity in the country. You can handwrite this out 100 times if you need to, right? If you need to get it in. The other way people do this is they will add what's called supporting statements. So they'll come up with 3 more statements around why this is true. Renatus is the best income opportunity in the country. If you got it, you got it. But if part of your brain goes, I don't know about this, then you're going to come up with 3 supporting statements. Like all wealthy people use real estate, a high commission, and massive value for happy customers, right? Because if you're not making happy customers, then you aren't the best. But we have the highest customer satisfaction rating, the highest compliance rating. We're the best. So anyway, you would come up with supporting statements if you are still struggling to make it a belief that you can stare someone in the face. You can look them dead in their ocular nerves, and tell them what you believe. If you don't have those supporting statements to be able to do that, that's your assignment. Build it up. Number 2, Renatus. Whoops, sorry. Number 2, everyone needs Renatus. Everyone. Don't discriminate. In fact, if you start to discriminate, you will stay poor. Everyone needs Renatus. You have no idea how many people are craving a community and knowledge like what we have. So everyone needs it. If they've made millions of dollars, they still need it. We got strategies, we got community, we got support, we got ideas for them. If they've been a bum the last 10 years and they're ready to turn their life around, fantastic. Everywhere in between. Everyone needs Renatus. Do not judge. How many people have an incredibly hard time getting a job because they committed a crime 10 or 20 years ago? They learned their lesson. They're new people, but this record follows them around. They can't get a regular job. Okay, but you know what they can do in America is build a business. And there's a trend out there about people turning themselves around. It taking a while, but an increasing number of business owners, because jobs are a joke, and we know this. You could see the job dissatisfaction, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to talk about why Renatus is relevant. We're talking about how to increase your core beliefs. Everyone needs Renatus. Tax savings, velocity banking, retirement accounts, life insurance, buying properties at a discount, 1031 exchanges. Everybody needs Renatus. Okay, so you'll get your supporting statements. If you're struggling with your supporting statements, call your 5-star or message them and get some help to fill it in. Number 3, we are doing them a favor. We are doing them a favor by inviting them, by showing them what Renatus is, by insisting they take a look at real estate. There are some people that I made look at real estate, like one of my uncles, for example, 8-9 years ago. He was not interested. He's a 6-figure earner, happy, healthy dude. But I showed him how much he was losing in taxes because he didn't have the right strategy. And I had to come from this vibe. I'm doing you a favor right now. I wasn't making as much money as him at the time. He was way more successful than me. But I believed and I acted upon the belief that I am doing them a favor by inviting them. I'm never bothering them or pestering them, bugging them. I'm doing them a favor. They won't find out about Renatus without me. There's no billboard they're going to see. There's no Google pay per click the corporate's running that they're going to see. Chances are they're going to see Renatus through me, through my warm market, through my 3-foot rule, through my meetups and networking. I'm doing them a favor. That's just how I rock. And it's everybody. I mean, the two guys who hired me at my last two jobs, Jiffy Lube and Sears, both of those dudes, I made up my mind that I'm going to do them a favor and get them into Renatus. And I did that 14 years ago. Got both of my hiring assistant managers of the shops into Renatus. And to this day, they said it's one of the best decisions they ever made. $20,000, best they ever spent. And because of that, their siblings and their parents, one of them has kids, one of them has lots of nieces and nephews. Everyone is benefiting much more today because of the decision they made 14 years ago with me. And it's because I kept pushing it because I believed I was doing them a favor. We were all making 20-something thousand a year at that job. And then here I come one day just walking into Jiffy Lube, cheery as can be. You guys want to spend 20 grand with me? Now, obviously, that wasn't the pitch, but I for sure knew I was doing them a favor, and that's why I didn't give up when it was time to keep pushing for invitations. They didn't want to come to nationals. They didn't want to spend the $200, $500 to come to nationals. They're like, well, we just spent all this money on education. I don't care. Do it anyway. I'm doing you a favor. You need to be at nationals. And I remember sitting at nationals that first year. I got Vanessa, and I looked down the row on the tables that I have, and I had like 9 guests there and 2 team members. It felt so cool. But I knew that I was doing them a favor. Every call, knock, 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 every invitation, every text. If I don't feel like I'm doing them a favor, I take a second, doing them a favor. I just tell myself and then get right back to work. And it's usually lots of texting for me. And then number 4, bringing it home with the 4 core beliefs. Number 4 is it's their loss if they say no. It's their loss if they say no. Okay, I've heard Richard on more than one occasion say, if you don't want to do this, sucks to be you. No one would accuse Richard of incredible politeness, which is fine. I think it's hilarious. But he will say, sucks to be you when they say no. He said, all right, it's your loss. Ha ha, sucks to be you. Good luck paying for vacations with post-tax dollars. What? Why would you do that? No, get a write-off for it. Come on, it's their loss if they say no. And that belief, that level of confidence and understanding and awareness that you're going to be fine. If you stay on this track for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10, 20 years on this track of real estate and business ownership and a high level of responsibility, you're going to be so fine. It's the other people who are going to lose. And so by you helping them understand it's their loss and you don't get your feelings hurt if they say no. You don't cry, you don't bah humbug, or maybe this isn't really good for me because someone said no. Then you're proving them right. You need to prove yourself right. Maintain this attitude. It's their loss if they say no. They don't have an amazing community. They don't have award-winning education. They don't have a debt-free company. They don't have a brand that's helped 20,000 happy customers. It's their loss if they say no. And then, of course, in parentheses, it's their gain when they say yes. Like I was saying earlier about the dudes at Jiffy Lube And Sears, when they said yes, they have ongoing wins. It's their gain when they say yes. You know, I got the $1,000 check. I got the $10,000 referral fee to Renatus for a customer. Great. I won also. But they had the much bigger gain. They got lifetime education. They have, you know, they're definitely have made a difference now after 14 years of compounding benefits. They've definitely made a 7-figure difference in their life. I got a 5-figure bonus, right? I got a $10,000, $12,000 check. They got a 7-figure difference in their bottom line. Who's the big winner? It's their gain when they say yes. It's their loss if they say no. I'm going to stick to my mission and keep working, helping people. So that's the 4 core beliefs. Renatus is the best income opportunity in the country. Everyone needs Renatus. We're doing them a favor. And it's their loss if they say no. This can be interwoven into your conversations. Hey, this is Michael calling with the Renatus marketing department. We're just calling to let you know about the best income opportunity in the country and how everybody needs what we're offering, whether you have experience or not, whether you have a great credit score or not, whether you have time or not. Everybody needs Renatus. And here's a few ways how we're helping people and doing them a favor by getting them involved, setting up with systems, setting up with community and the right education so they can hit their goals. But we know it's not for everybody. In fact, if you're a turd, we're going to say don't join. Right? It's your loss if you say no. We know what we're working on. We know where we're going. We know what the next 2, 5, 10 years are going to look like for our portfolios. So if you say no, sucks to be you. It's all in one conversation. In fact, if you're really good, you can say it in one breath. All right, I saw a hand. Laura, go ahead. GM.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Sorry, I chose the wrong button. So then you could see my nose, but not hear me.
All good.
No, I just wanted a full view of your screen so I could take a screenshot. That was all. And you did it already. So thank you.
Perfect. Okay, you betcha. You betcha. Okay, positive influence. You are in charge of your beliefs and your attitude. That's the one thing that's 100% in your control. It'll feed your action, change your result, increase your confidence. And it's also great for your kids to see. You know, when my boys get to see me just talking to whomever, listening to a problem they have, and then genuinely offering a solution. My boys are like constantly trying to help people now all the time. And it's just one of the side benefits that you can't put a monetary value on by being a good example to the people around you. So thanks for tuning in to Money Monday, folks. We got 108 days to the E3 Summit. Do your best. Stay focused. Think like the ant, not like the grasshopper. And you will thank your future self will thank you today for doing the necessary work and staying focused. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Call me if you need me. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody.